Alright, this is Christopher Fox once again, and this is a request assignment from Amy. And the name of this video is Little Monsters was a fucked up kids horror comedy movie. Yeah, it's pretty fucked up, but it was good, so let's check it out. Yay.
It's Dr. Ed, Nurse Natasha, Gary
What
Gray,
the?
and Hans
What the?
Butler as we
No.
talk about all things
No
horror.
alien gaze, please.
I guess you're wondering, what the hell is a horror channel doing talking about a kids movie like Little Monsters? A kids movie? I thought it was a documentary on genital lice.
No, is that Betsy Bunn's boyfriend?
80s nostalgia bullshit. They don't make them like they used to. No, they don't make them like they used to, and that's what inspired this episode. But first, a little backstory. See, I told you, nostalgia bullshit. Actually, no, Little Monsters wasn't one of those movies that I had on repeat on the VCR growing up as a kid. I liked the movie and all, but it wasn't one of my favorites growing up.
It was pretty damn good. Pretty successful.
Is this the one where Fred Savage kidnaps his brother and forces
Why are
him
you
to
wearing?
play video games?
Why is he dressing in drag?
Wizard. California! And a while back, I actually decided to watch Wizard because
Wizard, yeah, I remember seeing that as a kid.
And I haven't seen a paycheck since the 90s. And do you think Wizard stood the test of time? Not at all. It aged very poorly.
That alien man. I'm getting used to him already.
So, after Wizard falling flat on its ass, I got to wondering, how does the other 1989 movie starring Fred Savage, Little Monsters, hold up?
He did 2 movies and a TV show in 1 year?
Sounds like child slavery to me. I was expecting it to be even worse than Wizard. And was I dead wrong?
It was a great movie.
Very well. They don't make them like they used to.
They
After
don't.
the movie, I came away thinking, man, they just don't make kids' movies with balls anymore.
They don't.
Kids movies with balls? I don't know what you're watching, but I think it's illegal.
Little Monsters is actually kind of fucked up, and at times scary.
It is
It's a
scary.
deep, depressing subject matter.
Kids shouldn't watch this movie. They should wait till they're
That's why
older.
we're talking about Little Monsters. It's a forgotten movie, which is a great example of how children's movies of the 80s seamlessly combined adventure, horror, scares, dark humor,
Yeah, it was
and values.
pretty dark
seamlessly.
for its
And
time.
at the end, let's ask the question, should they still make movies like this today? Yes! For those of you who haven't seen the movie, in a recap for us 80s and 90s kids, Little Monsters starts off with the Stevenson family moving into a new neighborhood and a new house. It's a real fucking dump. It's a fixer-upper. Our main character, Brian, played by Fred Savage, hasn't made any new friends at school yet, but he has made an enemy of the school bully, Ronnie.
Yeah, the bully
Red-headed
man.
bully? How cliche.
You might also remember
It is
Devil
cliche.
Trey as Buzz in Home Alone. Strange things.
That's Buzz, really?
Brian's dad finds melted ice cream.
Ugh, looks like jizz on
Knocks
his
over Brian's bike,
shirt.
which has been mysteriously left behind the garage. Of course, he blames all this on Brian. He knows Brian was up late watching TV because he left his peanut butter and onion sandwich behind. Yeah,
Ew.
peanut butter and onion sandwich? What kind of
That's
sandwich
worse
would
than-
eat that? You know, I've always wondered how that would taste. Hans, whip me up a
That's
peanut
worse
butter
than
and
tomato
onion
sandwiches of Harriet the
Yes,
Spy.
right up. And now I will show you how to make a peanut butter and onion sandwich. You put the peanut butter on the bread, then you cut up the onions and put them on the peanut butter which is on the bread, and you have yourself a peanut butter and onion sandwich. Thank you.
It looks really gross.
Went heavy on the onions.
Why would you waste bread like that? How is it? You gonna start eating your car now?
It's actually not all that bad.
Don't
I wouldn't try it.
Night from me.
Brian's younger brother Eric, played by Fred Savage's real brother, is convinced that there's a monster under his bed. Eric
Yep.
dares Brian to spend just one night in his bedroom to prove him wrong. And he
They're
encounters
brothers,
some
right?
serious
Fred Savage, Ben
poltergeist.
Savage?
Needless to say, he didn't make it the night and slept on the hide-a-bed. I think he shit his pants. I remember hide-a-beds. I was sleeping on one and Ed folded me up into the couch. My body's never been the same. Now, convinced
Wow.
that there is indeed a monster under Eric's bed, Brian devises
My
a
arm
plan
keeps
to trap the
getting
monster.
itchy.
He saws the legs off the bed and uses parts from his broken bike to construct a breakaway bed. Every kid in the 80s is a mechanic or a genius inventor. That night, Brian catches the monster, and finds out that Light actually melts it when his dad opens the door to the bedroom to see what the ruckus was. Brian
So, like,
instantly
vampires?
befriends the monster whose name is Maurice. Maurice takes Brian down to the underworld through the portal underneath the bed. They spend the night playing games, breaking shit, and taking portals to other kids' bedrooms and playing pranks on them. It's a monster mash never land on steroids.
You look like Betsy
When Brian gets
Buns.
back to the real world, he's faced with some real world problems. His parents are getting separated.
And Maurice is having his own problems in the underworld.
Problems is right. I think this guy has Tourette's or something. We are then
I had
introduced to
Tourette's.
Snick, a huge loudmouth chain
Yeah, he's
monster
creepy.
who implies that
He looks
Maurice
like
is
Sully
actually
on
supposed to
crack.
lure Brian to the underworld and keep him there so that eventually he'll turn into a monster himself.
I always seem to fall for the tall, loudmouth type. Maybe because they always have such a big.
But Brian's already turning
What
into a
the
monster,
fuck was
which he
that?
finds out when he's exposed to the light and his arm melts.
Yeah.
In order to trick Brian back to the underworld, Snick kidnaps his younger brother Eric, knowing Brian will go after him.
And they play Super Mario Brothers 3 in California? California!
Brian then gathers up Eric's best friend, his new love interest, and even the school bully to mount a rescue. It's
Don't
here
know
we
why the
encounter
school bully's there,
massively
but
creepy head
he was a
monster
creep.
known as Boy, who's a monster with the boy's face strapped to his head. They couldn't think of a better name for the character than Boy? They become journeyman electricians and rig
God.
up these big, huge light suits to defeat Boy and rescue Eric. But all the portals home are closing and they're running out of time to find one before they're trapped there and turn into little monsters forever.
What? You don't make it back home?
Of course they do, but not before Brian and Maurice have a real heartfelt goodbye and then they take the last portal.
Yeah, that was a sad
Bum's
scene.
caught on the beach? I guess it's a bed. I've passed out worse places. The movie sounds pretty fun and charming, right? Well, it is, but
Yeah.
it's also dark as hell.
Yeah.
So let's take a bit of a deeper look.
Ooh, I'll go get my endoscope.
First thing you'll notice is how creepy the music is right from the opening credits. If you're to judge the movie on that alone, you would assume it was a horror movie or a cheap.
I remember the
tiny
music that
rip-off.
much.
The acting in this movie is fantastic, and I totally forgot how good Fred Savage was. He's solid. All the kids in this movie are
They
solid,
are.
and nothing
They're
makes
great.
the movie more
For the-
than bad child acting.
Yeah, like
And this is where we make a reference to the
like that kid. Fuck that movie. They should have never done this. Remade The Shining.
Is really refreshing. He does a great job of playing the hard-ass, tough-love dad. He also did the voiceover for Fred Savage's older self in The Wonder Years.
Wow.
Let's not forget Howie Mandel's magnificent performance as Maurice.
This was probably a lot of kids' first introduction to Canadian comedian Howie Mandel.
He was
As
good too
Maurice.
in this
This
movie.
has to be the most obnoxious performance ever. Who's now famous for being a judge on America's Got Talent. He
Mhm.
also voiced Gizmo in Gremlins.
Oh, I didn't know that.
And
Wow.
voiced the TV show Bobby's World. Imagine what would happen if you got Robin Williams and Howie
I love
Mandel
Gremlins. I didn't know. I can believe I didn't know that.
In the 80s, the Earth would have imploded into a black hole. Now let's talk about some of the messed up things in this movie that you just don't see in kids' movies anymore.
Let's get into
All
it.
the pranks they pull would have given kids some nasty ideas.
They paint all over a poor child's face and put saran wrap over the toilet bowl. Brian bends expensive golf clubs over Maurice's head, and they put peanut butter all over the receiver of a
God, this
telephone.
movie really likes peanut butter, don't it?
Pulled that prank today with a cell phone.
You'd probably get curb stomped. Maurice uses Q-tips
Ugh.
and puts shit back in the jar. Then they take a piss in a kid's jar of apple
Yeah, that
juice.
was sick.
Monster piss isn't half as bad as it sounds. All that stuff is beyond harmless pranks. It's funny, yeah, but it's downright cruel.
This movie really does encourage anarchy.
Maurice and Brian go on a glorious smashing spree.
We get the shit, we smash the shit,
Yes.
and then we put the shit back.
The movie also suggests that a
I love
12-year-old
him.
kid staying up late watching the Playboy channel is an acceptable pastime.
These kids have awful potty mouths.
Back in the day when kids not even in their teens yet would curse multiple times.
I've seen kids cussing down tons of scary movies I've
What's
seen.
an 80s kids adventure movie
But this
without
is more of a
some
kids movie.
strategically placed
Kids movie.
S-bombs?
Oh, shit!
And let's not forget the big line of the movie.
Taste of my apple juice.
Classic. And the crass humor doesn't end there. A monster sees Brian with his pants down and proceeds to tell him, a 12-year-old kid, that he's got a nice ass.
If he has a nice tushy, then he has a nice tushy.
Yeah.
There's also some morbid moments, like when Maurice is melting and begging for help.
Yeah.
It's creepy.
It is.
Snick grabs his kid's head and rips it off
Yeah.
and throws it in his basket. Then at the end, Maurice torches Snick with a flamethrower.
Look at this shit.
He lit that fucker up like a dried-up Christmas tree. And the final act of this movie gets really creepy thanks to the off-putting performance
No.
by Frank Whaley
Hey,
as
fuck
a
him.
boy. Brian's walk up these creepy flight of stairs to confront Boy is actually really scary. And not to mention when Boy's face melts.
Yeah,
revealing the
you want your
monster
kids
behind
watch
the
it.
mask,
There you go,
it's
kids
fucking
movie.
terrifying. The effects are very, very good. They are essentially 80s horror practical effects.
You want your kids getting?
Designs of
You want your
Maurice
kids sleeping at
and
night?
Boy are
Or see 'em?
great
Look
and
at that
kinda
shit.
terrifying.
But all the other monsters in the underworld, not so great.
You want your kids watching these type of movies, parents? There you go. Let them watch it. Have nightmares.
Crazy, like calling a bra an over-the-shoulder boulder holder.
I love that line. Over the shoulder boulder holder. I remember that line from this movie to this day.
Movie really strange is almost every character is a hothead with a really mean streak. Brian and his dad are constantly bickering and screaming at each other. Brian's parents are fighting behind closed doors. Of course, the bully's a prick. And Maurice is the definition of an asshole. None of these characters should be likable, but
Oh,
for
but-
some reason you do like them because they are relatable.
Yeah.
And the acting is so realistic.
The acting's great.
ending of this movie is sad and depressing.
And it doesn't end on a very positive note. Brian has to say goodbye to his best and only friend. It's really
Oh,
sad.
poor-
and Howie Mandel
poor
does
little
a
Fred
great job of
Savage.
dialing back his performance for one moment in the movie where he delivers his
He'll be
really
back.
heartfelt goodbye. There's also some seriously dark subject matter in this movie.
Yeah.
Right up my alley. This movie deals with loneliness, divorce, bullying, and tyranny. And if you want to dig deeper, I think it gets even darker. The underworld could be seen as one big metaphor for addiction. Brian becomes addicted to the underworld and the carefree lifestyle that he can have there. So much so that he begins turning into a monster.
Yeah.
The same
Parents would never let their
as
kids watch a movie like
drugs,
this nowadays.
alcohol, gambling, or any other vice. If that was me, I would have stayed there. Sounds like a great time. So lastly, let's analyze the name Little Monsters.
But there aren't any little monsters.
Exactly. So who are they referring
Yeah,
to?
what-
It's not Maurice. It's not Snick. It's not Boy.
They are
Ugh.
referring
He
to
is
the
so
nasty
creepy.
kids.
Yes.
Can I?
Yes, that's my thought exactly.
Can't believe this movie was on was on the Hub
Let's
Network.
face it, kids are assholes. All of us at some time in our childhood have been little monsters. But if we're lucky, we smarten up and learn from our mistakes. If we don't, those little monsters turn into big monsters. Or big assholes. If you stay up all night playing pranks, bullying, smashing stuff, and pissing in people's apple juice, you lose focus of what really matters. And you don't grow up. This is some serious Peter Pan shit. It's okay to have a Saurian brandy and collapse a black hole every once in a while, but you need to know when to draw the line. So underneath this strange, at times frightening, morbid kids monster movie, there's some great morals and real-life issues that still matter today. So even though it's a product of its time, it still stands the test of time.
I think it's a wonderful little movie.
It delivers some laughs and scares and takes us to some real dark places, which is why we're
Yeah.
talking about it today.
They don't make them like they used to.
They
And
don't.
I'll leave you guys
They
with this
don't?
question. Should they still make them like this? Kids' movies with violence and cursing that encourages the destruction of personal and public property? Or are movies like Little Monsters best left to the 80s? Any movie that expands a child's mind is a good thing.
If you did not get into mischief and adventure as a kid, then you're missing out. And this movie encourages mischief and adventure.
Fuck yeah! I want to see a kids' movie where they shoot up and smoke crack.
They
Oh, that's
don't
not.
make them like they used to, but they don't need to. We can always go back and watch the moldy oldies.
My thoughts exactly.
Yeah, I love Little Monsters. I mean, I didn't. Some of it kind of freaked me out. The boy character was really creepy and weird. The big Sully-looking guy, he was creepy, but like it is fucked up when you think about it because look at the images in this movie, man. Some of this movie's honestly more creepier, more frightening. Some of the horror movies I've seen recently. Like, seriously. But yeah. But I loved it. I mean, it's scary. Like I said, it's more scary than some of the horror movies I've seen, but I've seen a lot of horror movies, so yeah. Let me know what you think of Little Monsters in the comments below, and do you want me to review it? Let me know. Thanks for watching. Take care. See you guys in the next one. Peace.